Hey everyone, this is Joey.
Hi, I'm Henry.
We're from the band Scar the Martyr, and if you're not in the now, you're in the nothing.
With every word you say, the feel that you create, and every fall you fight, you only want us on me. With every breath I have, until there's nothing left, I'm gonna live until you suffocate and watch you die. Till the damage down, you make your living on.
What's up in the now, friends and family? Sitting here with Scar the Martyr, just over here at Chesapeake Energy Arena, just before the show later tonight. So just going to catch up and see how the tour is going. So tell us, how was the last gig? I think it was Iowa.
Yeah. It was killer, man. It was kind of, for me, it's like a homecoming.
Of course,
and especially with this band. We've done one show in Des Moines, but being out here with great friends of mine with Zombie and Korn, it was more so of a celebration, showing like what we're doing right now with Scar the Martyr. So the show was absolutely insane, and this whole tour, man, has been fucking great. And we couldn't ask for a better tour right now, and they've been treating us really well, and the crowd's been absolutely ape shit. So we're so happy right now, and look forward to throwing it down tonight.
That's awesome. And is that the same feeling you're getting, Henry, from the front?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing but like positive vibes from like people hearing us for the first time, and like the bands have been really cool. And I'm with Joey. I think it's like the perfect tour for us at this point. Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal. So, how are songs like Blood Host and Soul Disintegration going? Like, how's that coming along? Is it being well received? Do you feel from your end?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're both very different. But at the same time, I think that's what a lot of our fans like about our record anyway. The melodic stuff mixed with like more of the heavier like bottom end stuff. So I think there are a few people that aren't sure. They're, I guess, maybe more into the heavier stuff, but I'd say 90%, man, people like really dig it and they're into it, so it works.
No, that's awesome. And this is a collaboration and effort. Basically, you started for years, actually, Joe, if we're not mistaken. So this is the fruition of that labor, and it's really like being well received, by fans, as you guys can attest to. And so, how do you feel this style of music is versus the previous projects you've worked on?
Well, it basically is a reflection of when I started this, basically where I'm at in my life right now, with, Slipknot not being active at the point. I mean, we're still doing a lot of shows, and we're keeping our fans happy and all that stuff, but I really wanted to shift gears, man, and if I was going to put out another project, I really wanted to kind of push myself as a songwriter more than anything, and I wanted to get together with a bunch of musicians that I knew would actually be able to make my ideas and my vision come into fruition, even though I didn't know that was going to rhyme.
No, that's cool. It just but that shows your musical background right there.
But getting together with these guys, with, of course, Henry, Chet Simon, Chris Norris, we've got Kyle Conkeal on bass, and it's been an amazing journey. Like just watching, from the first time we went into the studio to where we're at now. Playing in front of like these massive crowds, and it's kind of cool. Just like every day, it's like it just keeps going like this. Each day you can kind of see it rising, and that's the best thing about watching this project. Just like from songs that me and Henry were like just penning, just because we had a sound and vision like where we were collaborating and like just kind of like working off each other to making a record, having it come out, and having the fans now just embracing it, and then watching the crowd like react like the way they're doing right now. We couldn't ask for anything more. So it's been great so far, and man, we cannot wait to get up there tonight. So it's been awesome.
Looking forward to it for sure. So just stay with you here for a second, Joey. You obviously are doing some of the percussion, obviously a good bit of it, and then I understand you've done some other parts on the recording, the self-titled EP or the album, I should say, that dropped in late September. So what other parts are you playing, or what other positions or instruments?
Well, besides main drums and percussion, I did the majority of rhythm guitars and the bass. Henry also played guitars on a couple songs, and the thing is, Henry and I didn't have a full band at the time. We were kind of just like we're a great songwriting team, and so like when we were writing these songs, it's like, well, like since we didn't have a band, it's like, well, we might as well just handle this ourselves, because like when I'm playing drums, and I already know what the guitar riffs are, because I always write on guitar first, so I know where the song's going. So then I lay the drums down, so when I go to playing guitars, it's really, I have an advantage from playing both instruments, and actually like when I'm laying down guitars along with like my drums, I dig in right with my kick drum. I'm like really solid, it's the same hands.
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like kind of like I have an advantage locking in there. You know, 'cause it's the same person.
It's almost like reharsing that segment beforehand, but in a
so
different
you know,
instrument.
I mean,
Yeah.
even though the next records, you know, will be a little bit different, I really enjoyed, you know, like hammering down guitars and bass on this record. It was, for me, it was very gratifying. You know,
Very
this
good.
whole project, you know, and even to, you know, playing live right now. It's just one of the most satisfying things I've ever done in my life. So in
That
my
is
career.
awesome.
So we're just having a blast right now.
No, that's awesome. So, and then Henry, as you're hearing Joey talk about, you know, the arrangements and how you kind of have your own control, how do you feel that is working out with, say, the label like Roadrunner? Are they receptive to you all putting in your own arrangements together, or do you find like they kind of give you your own free will? And I know, Joey, you're familiar with Roadrunner from previous bands, of course. So I'm assuming, you know, this might have been your first look or first experience with them. I'm taking it. So.
It's not my first
Or is it not?
experience
Okay,
with
so yeah,
Roadrunner.
have you had a previous experience with them before? Or?
Yeah, and in other bands, just you know, but as far as this goes, you know, I think once they heard the demos and once they got a handle on the material and what, you know, they heard the potential that it had. I you know, just talking to Joey, even I knew that's like, okay, you know, they're ready to hear something amazing. They're ready to hear something they haven't heard before, you know, especially from Joey. So and so I felt like I had a lot to prove to you know, well, mostly myself, but you know, the label's like, okay, we have to make this.
Yeah.
You know, we have to make an incredible record. And going back to what Joey was saying before, you know, I think that's we did have a huge advantage, you know, because, you know, as a songwriting team, you know, we were able to handle a lot of the, you know, guitars and stuff like that ourselves. But that's why I put so much of my trust into him. And in terms of the label stuff, you know, I didn't really worry a whole lot about that because I knew that they were going to be behind it, you know, and they are 100%. So.
Yeah, you guys have been marketed really well, I'll be honest with you. And then I noticed you had released your some of your songs, I think up to 4 of them on the EP, just through the Roadrunner label itself, their website. They actually had some kind of hidden phrase or something.
And Revolver and Metal Hammer, too.
Yeah, there you go. So it was
specific songs. So
very good, you know, it was a great marketing aspect to it. So it got the music out there, got the fans, you know, the fan base going ahead of time.
It was actually really cool, you know, because when we were in the studios, like, you know, we could have capped it at, like, you know, 13 or 14 songs, but, you know, we had so many ideas and we were on such a writing spree. And me and Henry, you know, we were such a meeting of the minds, and it was so fresh to, like, meet each other and, like, have everything be new because, like, I kept being like, okay, what else do you got? And he'd be like, what else do you got? So we kept writing songs. So that really helped out with putting out that EP, those EPs, and getting them in magazines and then releasing, like, you know, our cover of Killing Joke complications, like, specifically for iTunes. And so, like, you know, it was cool because, like, you know, like, literally we were sitting there and, like, our producer, Reese Fulber, like, we were sitting there like, well, we kept coming in every day like, we got another song, and he's like, okay, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Like, you know, so, like, at this point, you know, it's, like, kind of cool because, you know, we're out here and we're promoting the record, but the excitement is still so thick, you know, with us, you know, just being a new project and having everything gel the way it is, that we already got like 10 songs from the next record already.
Oh, that is awesome. I was going to ask that if you actually found that there was any extra material, not extra, but you know how it is.
And I have to say, a
Yeah.
lot of it has to do with some of the new blood that we brought in.
Good,
Too.
good.
Chris Norris and Jed Simon.
Right, right.
You know,
And I've read
and Kyle Conkeal, our bass player. And,
That's right.
And, you know, they're all they're so excited. They're like, well, here's what we got. You know, they were inspired about the record, and they were kind of like, okay, like, you know, they're trying to adapt to the style that me and Henry have created. And it's kind of cool to hear, like, other people's, like, actual real respectable musicians like see, like, what their take is on our style or vibe, and it's actually really cool. So we can't wait to get those guys in the writing process as well.
Well, this is awesome. Yeah, it's great to know that there's new material still out there, you know, fresh material, so we can expect to hear that possibly in 2014, I'm imagining.
Yeah, as soon as we get to it, I mean, it's just all about right now touring.
Right, right.
On this record.
So speaking of touring, obviously you guys have been on this Night of the Living Dreads tour for a good bit with Rob Zombie and Korn, also artists you're familiar with working with yourself, Joey, of course. And then I understand, you know, in the beginning of the year, you guys had set out a UK tour, had to cancel it, but then now have it rescheduled, from what I understand.
Yep.
So fans can expect to see you in the UK next month, if I'm not mistaken, on the tour supporting Alice in Chains, I believe. Is it, or?
Actually, we're doing a lot of
or is it
runs.
Okay,
well.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So this is a tour that you guys are kind of doing with other acts and such.
Yeah,
across
and
the UK.
headlining as well.
Okay,
So,
excellent.
yeah, we wanted to extend it because if we were going to go over there, we, you know, since the the demand became bigger since the record came out.
Okay,
We were just like, okay, let's just, if we're gonna go over there, let's stay over there as long as we can. It's in December, so we got to get back for Christmas and all this stuff. But if we're gonna make the trip, we want to get out to as many people as possible before we go back in the new year.
I see.
So we're gonna go back as soon as possible. But it's cool, man, because it's really great, being able to establish the band here in the States first. Because sometimes, with like metal bands right now, they almost just go directly to Europe. Which is really fortunate for us, because we really wanted to break the band on our American soil.
Of course,
it was really something important for us, because this is where we're from. So a lot of bands don't get that chance. So we've been really fortunate, and the fans have been fucking amazing.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
It's set it up perfect for us to go over to Europe now. So everything's lining up the way it should, man. And the thing is, really, it's about our fans.
No, that's.
The fact is, we wouldn't be able to. We wouldn't be going over there if it wasn't a demand. Because it's hard for new bands to break out, no matter who you are, where you're from, or whatever. But since the record's been well received, and we're getting out to as many fans as possible, because we want to tour no matter what, no matter what it costs, or because a lot of bands just don't make money these days. But it doesn't matter, because we're all about the fans, and that's why we're here.
Sounds like you got the freedom you've been wanting after for a good bit. You know what I mean? Not to say that you didn't have it in previous bands, but it's like this is yours, and it's your brainchild, so to speak.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, I couldn't do it without my colleagues.
Of course,
I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I might have a vision, or I might have songs, but it really didn't take off until I sent these songs to Henry. Because I tried out a bunch of vocalists, and a lot of them were great. But there was something certain I was looking for, a certain sound I was looking for. And once I got in touch with Henry, I was like, "Fuck, this is it. This is the sound." Now I'm like, now I can start looking into other areas about who I'd like to bring into this and help complete it. Once I knew I had the voice.
Yeah, that I'll attest to that too, Henry. After hearing Blood Host and going to Soul Discretion, the range you carry, between the melodic styles and then the hard crunching sound of Blood Host, it's sick. It's awesome. So I'm dying to hear this live. To be honest with you, looking forward to it very much so. How do you feel, as Joe was saying, leaning towards maybe going to Europe next year? Do you guys find you might be going to Download, other festivals, things like that, or too hard to say?
Australia, Japan.
Yeah, obviously we want to hit every single market that we possibly can.
Of course.
We want to hit every single market that we possibly can, and I want to take this as far as we can, as we can.
Yeah, why not?
And I'm just super excited. We all are. We want to do that, and so we'll get there. It's just a matter of time, I think.
I got you.
I
got you. And gentlemen, I have to ask, I know you both come from different musical backgrounds. Obviously, Joe, we all know you as number one of the nine, and such. And you just already stated, when Slipknot's kind of doing their thing, you get, everyone's doing their own projects. Corey does Stone Sour, and everyone's got their own deal. Do you find, do you stay in touch with even the acts you've been affiliated with before then even? Perhaps, the earlier days of the Rejects, the Have-Nots, as they transformed into the Murder Dolls era to
our paths
now?
cross every once in a while, either by a phone call or, seeing each other at events.
Right.
So the love is always there. A lot of it's just from our hometown, my hometown, I guess I should say, of Des Moines. And it's kind of like we have just all the bands still, no matter how big Slipknot's got or whatever projects I've done. It's still I'm a humble guy from Des Moines, man, and
of course,
and it's still good, and I have a lot of love for that city and the local scene there. You got to, because that's the scene I come from, so it stays very true to my heart.
That's very good. No, it's very good to hear. No, awesome.
Yeah, it's just because it doesn't matter, what, like I said, what Slipknot has achieved. You gotta stay grounded, dude.
Very
Otherwise, really, like what are you trying to do? You got to come back home to realize who you are, and just try and keep writing music. That's what I try and do. I just try and keep writing music that not only that satisfies me, but I want to satisfy my fans. I do honestly write with them in mind. A lot of people are like, oh no, I don't care what the fans think. I just write for myself. No, I write for fans in mind all the time. I'm like, what are they gonna like? What are they missing now? What would they like to hear? And then I consider that when I'm writing music, and awesome. I think it turns out all the better.
No, it translates well. We see it time and time again. Man. So no, thanks again. And then Henry, I know you were involved in a few bands, obviously, before Scar the Martyr, and then you come from an era, I guess, in the mid '90s, right, out of Georgia for a bit. Working, was it Lolitu, I think it was, and then some other bands at the time. Do you find you still stay in touch with those folks, or are you, kind of moved on from project to project? Everyone's gone there.
Not really, man. Yeah. The thing as a musician, you never, as an artist, you never stop growing. You want to get better.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can honestly say this is probably like the first time in my life I've been playing with professionals. you know, all across the board. I mean, not to say that, you know, none of those guys weren't great musicians, but I mean, I've been in a lot of bands, and I've, you know, done a lot of things under the radar with bigger names and stuff like that. But you know, it's hard. It's just, you know, it's all about timing, and it's all about, you know, the product, you know. And I've done a lot of different things that aren't so much rock related too. You know, I've collaborated with Jarbo of Swans, which she's from Georgia, where I'm originally from. But you know, so but in terms of this, you know, this just happened to come at the right time. And you know, Joey and I hit it off, and with the musicians involved, I can honestly say this is the first time that I've been like content, that I've been happy, you know, with the people that I'm working with, and just everything that's come along with it. So, you know, that's like pretty much the case in terms of like, you know, and it's not, you know, I've heard and read things like, oh, virtually unknown, this, that, and the other. Well, it depends. What do you want to be known for? You know, so I want to live in the now, and I think what we have is definitely something special. So.
No, that's awesome. No, that makes perfect sense, guys. And like you said, music is an evolution, and you know, you write for what you want, the fans, and it translates well. This current project, I can't tell you how excited I am to see this, you know, here in a bit. Man. So definitely thankful for you guys to take the time here with us for a bit. One last parting thought. If I were to ask you, Mike, what was the last song you heard on your MP3 player or iPod or whatever, what would it have been? Say prior to sound or coming into town or something like that.
You know what? It's weird because since we've been on this tour, I haven't even plugged my iPod.
Really? Yeah, I always get some unique answers. That's why I ask. You just never know.
I mean, honestly, I'm just not like I'm trying to get out of the question because I listen to so much stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you know, we're always jamming to music. Like last night, we were rocking out to Clutch.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, they're actually playing tonight up the road from us, up in Wichita tonight. So.
Yeah, we're watching the concert they did at the 930 Club.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was so
cool.
like
it's a phenomenal show. Those guys.
It's hard not to have Earth Rocker like in your head at all times. You know.
No, that makes sense. Well, that's cool. That's a good answer there. You know, everyone has varying interests and whatnot. So awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Got Scar the Martyr going to be rocking the stage here in a little bit. Obviously, they're going many places, so they'll be coming to you if you're in England next month, and then overseas beyond that, and who knows where. So you just got to keep checking them out.
More American dates, more European dates.
There you go.
Next year.
So get the EP Scar the Martyr, self-titled, came out September, and then just follow them on the usual social networks, and you'll know where to find them. So from Shabby, Henry, and Joey in the Now, we'll see ya. Peace.